Directing is not easy. I can't even get my cat to let me give him pets and cuddles, so how would I get a human being to give me the exact performance I need from my shot list, given their own experiences, motivations, and understanding of the characters that I can capture on my overpriced Red camera that I got from a shady website on Reddit? And sure, you could get lucky and have a distant cousin who knows Denzel Washington's dog walker and get him into your short film. So yeah, you're 98% of the way there. But here's the problem. What are you going to say when he asks you why? Why is his character sad? What is his purpose? Why does he drive stick shift? Does he want to look cool in front of his friends? Or does he want to have more control in an uncontrollable world? These small details may feel like nothing, but they're the difference between creating and crafting your movie. And if you haven't noticed, I got a new microphone. We're going to up the quality of these videos every single day of 2024. And this is the year we're going to get to 10,000 subscribers, so hit subscribe down below. But how would you know the best way to answer that? Or explain to Ryan Gosling why he has to end on this exact mark at the end of the scene? Are you going to give him a personalized motivation for his character so he knows the reason behind the choices that his character make to end up at the center of the frame at the end of this important scene? Or are you just going to show him the second grade level stick figures you drew in your storyboard? We are visual storytellers. Each frame needs to have a purpose. Whether it's through lighting, like in La La Land, where we see the harsh neon lights coming through Ryan Gosling's apartment to show that he lives next to a giant neon sign that most people wouldn't want to live next to show the state of our character's poor financial situation, and to also further what they see as a priority. Or even in Saltburn, with costume design, where the director chose a specific shirt for Jacob Elordi's character that when a light hit it at a specific angle, it would give a silhouette of his body to really help push the obsession and desire that one character feels for another. So we can bring up every term and idea that we learned in Cinematography 101, but the important thing that a lot of people forget is that in most of these scenes, we have actors. So today, let's discover some of the best directors' secret to making amazing movies. Acting.
Acting! Acting! Acting!
Let's start with the most relevant example, Greta Gerwig, the director of the ever-giving film phenomenon, Barbie. However, some people may not know that before this took over the internet, she's been putting out amazing movies for years. Lady Bird and Little Woman allowed her open, expressive, and uncontrolling directing style to blast her off into Hollywood limelight. But before any of these successes that we know today, she actually started acting in 2006. She had a bunch of minor and major roles in rom-coms and dramas, all the while taking bits and pieces from her experience with directors on set and choosing what she wants to bring to her future movies. She uses her experiences not just as an actor, but in life to craft her films. And she specifically pushes their actors to bring their own personalities into their performances. I mean, just look at Ryan Gosling. He was living it up on the set of Barbie.
You just hold on for 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Sublime!
To Greta Gerwig, it's all about the actors. Now this next director, besides casting himself in his own films, you may not know he actually has a background in acting. Quentin Tarantino.
Round 1, fight.
What are you doing? Hey, don't do that. Don't do that again.
The biggest purveyor of violence and feat shots of any other director, has always spoken highly to the importance of understanding your actors. Dropping out of traditional education and enrolling in acting classes himself in his teen years helped him form the writing and directing style that we love today. He learned how to discover your character deeply and let the actor discover the scene by themselves before giving any nitpicks or micromanagement to the scene to get exactly how you want. He'll allow the actors to do a full interpretation of the scene themselves before giving any real direction or alterations to the scene to see what they come up with. He allows them to work with him and build the scene together. But at this point of the video, if you're still not convinced how important directing actors is, this is what you get when you tell them to just read the scene and try their best.
So, why did you volunteer to work at a hospital?
I got arrested. Beats juvie. What about you?
I just love to help people.
For real?
Cut. Oh no, that's a wonder. Can someone get Dixie to stop dancing to the red cameras? They're like $100,000. Oh. Jordan Peele. Need I say more? Unlike the first two, he was actually a mainstream actor who did a full 180 and started directing and writing his own weird world of horror movies. Starting his acting career over 20 years ago, he mainly focused on sketch comedy, which is where he started on Mad TV before going to Key & Peele, one of the best comedy series of all time, where specifically he learned that storytelling is best told when subdued in satire. We see that he's able to bring out the best of his cast, to peel back the layers of the character until they're fully exposed. And there's no doubt that for doing this so many years in front of the camera himself, allowed him to focus on what's important when he's behind it. Ben Stiller. Yeah, I bet you didn't expect his name up here. But to my surprise, after wiping my tears when I finished Secret Life of Walter Mitty, I saw his name in big letters. Twice! I came to learn that he's been directing since the beginning of his career. Funny enough, he actually always wanted to be just a director, but the acting opportunities allowed him to get into Hollywood and to break into the scene to have more opportunity to direct in the future, which he obviously took. Who wouldn't? However, through acting, he was able to develop his style, testing it in front of the camera every night. He was able to work on his dry observational humor and his existential angst that we see in all his movies today. This next one is not so surprising. John Krasinski. Jim Halpert is one of the better examples of learning to direct through acting. His first experience on any film set of any kind was on The Office, where he was immersed and surrounded by talent every day, learning the trade. He even said himself he never went to film school because The Office was the only education he needed. And after learning how to perform in front of the camera, he was given the opportunity to do it behind.
That's what she said.
While directing his first episode of The Office, which is his first directing credit ever, he allowed the actors to use their characters to shine through. He understood more than most that everyone there knew better than anyone else who they were portraying. So why try to nitpick everything he needed when he can just use his experience of knowing how a scene goes smoothly on the set, which we all know this led to him releasing Quiet Place a few years later, which was a critical success. Jon Favreau. We can't finish this video without mentioning Happy Hogan. Similar to a lot of the other directors I mentioned today, where the main point is that they started acting so they can learn from experience of being on set what it means to be a director, that's what he did. The ones who freaked out, the calm ones, the controlling ones, the ones who were relaxed and let the actors do their thing, all the while picking and choosing his favorite methods to bring it to his own style. And this experience of being an actor allowed him to choose his cast based on his instinct and the ability to allow for a hands-off directing approach, where he knew that simply from his experience of being an actor, that providing space and allowing for collaboration is the best way to create. But those are all the directors I want to talk about. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. The important thing is I'm not trying to say if you want to direct or create movies, you have to act first. There are plenty of directors who don't have any acting experience who are still phenomenal at what they do. But I think it's important, especially if you want to set yourself apart from the whole endless crowd of indie filmmakers that we see in our college campuses, who are always carrying around an empty 16mm film camera and are obsessed with Hitchcock. Move on, please. The filmmakers who prefer the days where you're just shooting B-roll and have a nice cinematic shot of water where you don't have to direct anyone are gonna be obsolete one day. If you can't work together to create a meaningful and worthwhile story, someone else will. Thank you guys again for watching. If you like my new microphone, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna get a stand for it eventually. Right now it's literally just sitting on my tripod, which is like so janky, but you do what you gotta do. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. We're gonna get to 10,000 this year. I just know it. And as always, thanks for watching.